Three signs of spring right there, guys. You probably see the first two, golf clubs and the freshly used lawn tractor. The third sign is I swept the garage floor. It needs to be done again, but that's spring cleaning. And another sign, if we step out here, is we're starting to get all our flower baskets together and ready. So a couple there, we got some for the planters, and we actually have a planter hanging down here, and I've got a bunch in the backyard as well. Just itching to get out in the swamp here and look for some birds, because I'm hearing all kinds of bird activity. It's kind of gray today, but you know what? Sometimes that light can be nice too. And maybe we even get some raindrops coming down through the leaves. Rain's not terrible, but I have one more thing I need to do for the birds before I leave. The last of my sunflower is now hanging in that feeder there, so I'm still getting goldfinches, all kinds of warblers and jays and all that stuff. But I did see a hummingbird flew up to the window yesterday, and I felt bad because I haven't put out a feeder. Last season I put out like 1 week, so I'm going to hang the hummingbird feeder before we go to the swamp. Ew. Dirty. Pretty, but dirty. There we go, freshly cleaned and filled. And here's the backyard baskets. Got 2 of those. Beautiful. I do live in a wildlife wonderland here. We've got deer in the yard, foxes. You guys have seen all the things we get all the time, but I love putting out the flowers. You know, we do get hummingbirds, we get other things, and it just beautifies the yard. This crummy little garden that I made 10 years ago with leftover bricks from the house is gonna go. Not this season though. I'm gonna redo the deck, and we're gonna put in a nice stone garden here. I'm gonna do composite, probably new stairs on a proper footing over there that was never done right. So, but I think not this year, so that's a problem for next summer. So I've been talking about getting the new car, and that is still happening, but I've sold the truck twice. So the dealership actually offered me what I wanted for the truck originally, because trucks are in super high demand up here and you can't get used ones. Ever since COVID, things have just been So I wanted 30 for the truck. They offered me 28. You would save, a couple grand on taxes, because you don't pay on taxes on when you trade something in, so it would have been just over 30,000, which is what I wanted. Then when they ran the truck and saw that it had been in an accident, which it was fully repaired and warranted for the life of the vehicle, I don't understand this, they then reduced their offer down to 21,900, so 22,000. Trade-in taxes equal close to 25, and I was like, oh, that sucks, but what I could try to sell the truck myself, whatever. I made a video about it, and actually Win, my neighbor, saw the video, and he came over and he's like, I want your truck. He's like, you didn't get what you wanted for it, I want your truck. So Win and I worked out a deal, and I couldn't be happier. And anytime I need to borrow the truck, it's going to be there. Win has already guaranteed me, Gary, if you ever need the truck. And you know what made me feel really good? Was when Win came over, he said, I don't even want to test drive it. He said, I know how immaculate you are with your stuff, how good you take care of your stuff. It made me feel really good that people noticed that, the dealer didn't give a damn, and they don't give a damn about any of the extras I had on the vehicle either. You know, really, had I been thinking before I brought it to the dealer, I should have stripped the cap off of it, the $400 Tux mats, anything I could get out of that truck should have came out of it. But anyway, it's all worked out for the best now. Wynn's going to have my truck. I'll get to look across the road and see my buddy enjoying it, and that's going to make me feel good too, so everybody's happy. Except me, who gets the PHEV back. Update on the PHEV is 12 days in the shop now. They don't have a clue what's wrong with it. They've finally given me a rental. And they brought a technician in from down south, and their tech line has been helping them, and they don't know what's wrong with it. So there's a small glimmer of hope in my mind. There's a spot of sunshine up here that I'm like, maybe, just maybe it's the battery, which is still under warranty. I still have 2.5 years warranty on this car. And I'm like, maybe I'll get a new battery out of it and it'll all be golden. My plan is to drive that thing for another 2 or 3 years myself, and then trade it in. I will not buy another Outlander unless one of two things happens. There is a new battery, 22.7 kilowatt hour battery, so that's going to give you almost 80 kilometers range. That's double what I've got now, okay? They're bringing back the battery warming system, the ceramic heater. I don't know if they're bringing back the exact system, but anyway, they're going to address this problem where the last 3 models have not had these heaters, which mine does. And so people in temperatures below minus 25 degrees Celsius, their cars won't start. So, you know, I love the car. I'm not a huge fan of the service. I get along okay with the staff there, but you know what, guys, but there isn't a lot of choice. I don't want to go full electric because we just don't have the infrastructure up here in the north. And I really thought about it, and the truck I wanted, the Ram Charger, is delayed again. So, and then I don't want to buy the first year model of that again. I'm like, no, I already went through that buying the first year model with the PHEV. But I might buy another Outlander because I do love the car. It just depends on how it runs here in the next year or two, in all honesty. If this issue I've got now gets resolved and it doesn't go in the garage anymore for the next, 2 years, I will seriously consider buying another one just because they are so far ahead in the range that the plug-in gets versus, like our Mazda that we just bought, it gets the same range as the 2018 PHEV, 40 kilometers. As the guy sitting here editing this, I just realized what I said and was thinking outside. Let's be honest, I don't think I can buy another Mitsubishi. I just don't think I can. Guys, you know what I've been through. I do love the PHEV and the hybrid system, okay? Up here in Northern Ontario, we don't have the charging stations in place that you guys down south have. We just can't. I leave here and I drive 4.5 hours down to Toronto or 5 hours to Ottawa. I have to stop immediately, find somewhere to charge this vehicle, and it's just a disruption. And yes, it's getting better, but we're not there yet. So for me, the only thing that works is the plug-in hybrid. And I maximize the use of the plug-in by charging it more than once a day. I was in fact getting 2,000 kilometers a month when I was daily driving the Outlander, and I was paying $27 in electricity to get that 2,000 kilometers. You can't beat that. I literally have saved half the price of the vehicle in the 8 years that I've owned it, more than half. And then we did our EV series on YouTube, and we made, there was $5,000 or $6,000 came back into the account there. So the car doesn't owe me anything. I could go buy a regular Outlander, pay $60,000 for it, and then sell it in 7 or 8 years for $12,000. That's all you're going to get for it. Or I could buy the EV version, save $40,000 in fuel over 8 years, and then trade it in for $12,000. Who's silly now? And one final update. Leafs forced Game 7 last night. Didn't think they had it in them because Game 4 and 5 were terrible. They just got whooped up and down the ice. They didn't show up. They came out like half of them were on Prozac, the other half had the flu. I don't know what was going on. They were terrible in those 2 games. They actually got beat 6-1 in the second game. And then last night they actually pulled it out, showed up, played hard, and won 2-0 to force Game 7. So by the time you guys see this video, this will all be said and done, and I don't know, the Leafs may be out, they may have won, I don't know. But for now, I'm happy because we got one more game to go tomorrow, Game 7.